Well, it is Thursday morning and not much news overnight to drive the trading around the globe, nor on tap today. Yellen's testimony today in front of Capitol Hill will be likely a rehash of yesterday's. The Fed's financial meme is economic growth returns in the second quarter. It was weak in the first quarter because of the bad weather. We're looking at 3% economic growth for the rest of the year on out. They are concerned about the lack of people having jobs or the labor market, and they'd like to see a stronger real estate market. So the Fed really does tell you exactly what they think or what they want you to believe consistently over and over again, and when things are getting ready to change, they'll float trial balloons for 4 to 6 weeks. So that's the current Fed storyline, and they're going to stick with it. So growth in 2014 is supposed to be better than growth in 2013. Bank of England, European Central Bank make announcements today at 8:30 Eastern. Draghi picks up the mic. His comments can really impact the 6E futures contract in the Forex market. Doesn't usually impact what we have, but no changes expected out of that. Biggest piece of negative news overnight, German industrial production decreased. So we're not getting a consistent growth pattern in the European Union economic numbers. Putin supposedly is withdrawing troops from the Ukrainian border. NATO says they're not. That's mixed. There's an election next week for the eastern Ukraine, and Russia says they should delay that election and that referendum on whether to stay with the Ukraine or go with Russia. That means Russia, the eastern Ukraine, probably doesn't want to go with Russia for the most part. Otherwise, they'd be pushing for the election. So don't think we'll see an escalation in the fighting between the Ukraine and Russian surrogates. China declared Iran a strategic partner. Now that's just got to make you feel good. So the old Cold War alignment of Russia, China, Middle Eastern dictatorships, and spotty dictatorships in Africa and other places is being reformed right now. We broke that alliance up in 1989. Peace was to return to the world, and we have snatched victory. We've snatched defeat from the jaws of victory when you get right down to it. So instability around the world politically, more fighting, more shooting, etc., is what we can look forward to down the road. So I don't have a strong feeling today one way or the other. I know that to move this 30-year paper, that the market can't go straight up nor straight down, and the bias has to be to the upside. So we had a auction at 28.5 and 19.5. That to me tells me that the auction will be no worse than 23 today. We've got a B pattern in the overnight market. I'd like to buy weakness. I'd really like to buy 21s or better. May not get them. May have to pay up 25s to get in this area right here. I don't think the market is that strong. I do think we will get some selling, but that remains to be seen. The knob spread, I think last night, Jimmy will tell me, maybe stabilized a little bit. Early this morning it was at 11:05. Jimmy says it's at 11:07. I trust his math, so that is strengthening, and that's probably a direct reflection of the 30-year auction. I see a trading range to get started because they need that to sell the papers, so I think we will see failure, basically 125 even plus or minus, then definitely in the 125.04 to 08 area. So those are my two sell zones. Today's news, jobless claims, 330. Last week it was 344. If it comes in at 340, it'll be supported for the financials. If it comes in at 320, it won't. And then we have natural gas inventories and they're looking for a build of 71 BCF. As they start to refill those great big round gas storage units that all major cities have. So let's look for a trading range, upward bias, can sell failure basically to take out 125, and would love to buy at 21 or better. On to the bond. You know, one of the things that I've just observed over time is that if you don't have a strong feeling about the market's direction and the rest, then the rest of the trading community probably doesn't have a strong opinion either, and that usually yields a trading range. So the 30-year is going to be the strongest one. Just like last night, we're going to 7s to 11s. Then 15s to 19s will be sell 2. On the buy side, because the knob spread will probably widen today, I'd like to get it done at 29 to 25. But frankly, it may be a 36.01 to get into the market. I don't know. So we're going to go through the first round of selling rotation, and we'll make our adjustment. Jobless claims will affect this market for sure, but not for long. Then we'll go back to the dynamics of the 30-year auction and what the stock market's going to do today. Okay, gold held its own overnight. We wanted to buy 85s to 87s. 87 was just touched, maybe just a little bit above it. Not much action overnight. Draghi will pick up the mic this morning at 8:30 Eastern. He can swing the gold market just like the currency markets. So there's some exposure to quick movements right here. Usually we find in gold, after we've had a big trend day, we play for a pause day, want to buy against the preceding day's low or sell against the preceding day's high, as the case might be. They were not able to get stops below yesterday's low, so they found buying against that, and the market is drifting higher right now. So when we come in and we take a look at this, 95, 97, which is where it was yesterday, sell 1. And basically 1,300 for sell 2 plus or minus. On the buy side, still like the 85, 87. And then if we bust 85, my guess is we'll probably get stops below 80, so we'll go 81 to 79 for buy 2. Okay, taking a quick look at the euro, and this euro is capable of moving 100 ticks if Draghi says the right or the wrong thing. So we've rallied. The economic growth in Europe, if you believe all the articles, is stabilized and starting to improve. They're looking for growth of about 1% this year. Got to remember, anything north of 1% is strong growth for the European Union. And why is it so low? Their form of government, which is basically socialism, where taxes can be upwards of 60% when it's all said and done on wages and income. and restrictive bureaucratic regulations where everything, every specification is determined by a bureaucrat in some nation's capital or in Brussels. The 50 area, we had 45 to 55 was the sell last night. So market, then we had 65 to 75. So right now, first band will be 50 to 60. Then 75 to 85 will be sell 2. Let them go. I think if we get a first rally, we get stops above the recent high, which was right at 39.70. On the buy side, our 25 to 35 area will be buy 1. And again, when Draghi picks up the mic, big things can happen. Then 139 plus or minus will be buy 2. So if you know what Draghi's going to say, you got yourself a great trade. Draghi would like to talk the currency down, and I think we can count on that. So the buys are suspect, a little bit more comfortable with the sell side. But if he doesn't talk it down, then he's facing the problems that he's faced over the last couple of months. What can he do to make the euro dollar and the European economies more competitive? And he's in a tough spot. The European Central Bank does not allow the outright purchases of securities like the Fed can do. So he's pretty much left with a microphone and rhetoric to try to improve the situation for European Union members. Tough job, given industrial and tax policies on the continent. Okay, we liked selling into 101. I still like that right now, so we'll make 75 to 101, sell 1. Sell 2, 101.25 to 50. On the buy side, we'll make 100, 125. I think we got the elections in the Ukraine next week. Probably tend to stabilize this. And then 50 to 75 for buy 2. And last but not least, the E-mini. I really my opinion going into the E-mini is neutral today. I see us in a trading range. I see us at the upper end of the trading range. Long as 85 holds, I can be short. The market did not test 80 in the overnight session. They did get stops above yesterday's highs. I'd have to, if we sell today, yesterday's rally was just short covering. A lot of uncertainty in the market. So on the F1 screen, there's definitely a seller above 80, and there's definitely a buyer right now at 60, 55 to 60. So with Yellen's testimony and the uncertainty of that, I still have us in a trading range. I don't see that we can break it out on the economic news that is coming by. Headlines are bullish. The body of the news announcement usually is not. So our first sell is basically this 75 area, plus or minus. I mean, that's where resistance is. Then 79 to 81 for sell 2. On the buy side, we've got volume at 68, 65, so 65, 67 buy 1, and 60, 62 buy 2. I'm more comfortable short because of the underlying economic news. But again, I just don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. Jobless claims come in greater than 340, probably hurt the E-mini, probably won't break it though. And if they come in less than 320, probably will take it up, but probably won't break it out. So I just basically see a trading range right now. As long as we stay below 80, it's a sell. And I think the key number right now that they're battling over is 75, a market number. Okay, it'll take about 15 minutes to get everything posted. I'm going to get busy on that. Back in the room as fast as I can get there.